Good afternoon, everyone. It's me here, Jesse. I'm making another video. This one is quite hot, and I mean that almost literally hot. Just this afternoon, I'd gone out of bed. I'd had my breakfast, and I was gonna do like a bit of writing or reading, but it was gonna be a bit too much, so I decided I'll just go for a walk rather than maybe come back and do it later, or and just take it easy for the meanwhile. So I left the house and I decided to go for a walk, as I've said. And along the way, I was planning on maybe playing some music as I was walking, but I felt as if that I should not entertain myself with music. So casually, I decided to check one of the links that I get on my emails. There's this guy who always sends like world news. And he normally has a report that he does for every video teaching he does, and he puts in all the links to all the topics that he talks about and sources for them. I used to listen to him a long time ago, when, like, say around 2006, like in the 2000s. But listening to him teach the whole time through became a bit too much for me, so I reverted to just getting his newsletters and finding and picking the ones that are useful to me. So it sounds a bit weird that I want to walk and I'm reading, but I just gave his newsletter a bit of a peek to see what was in there, because there's also videos in there also. So I was thinking that instead of listening to music, I'll watch a video that he made whilst walking. So I came across this title which was saying that the CEO of Nokia is talking about the release of 6G, and he was saying that in the report, it was saying that Nokia CEO, who's called Pekka Lundmark, by the way, was speaking at a World Economic Forum in 2022, where he was saying that by the year 2030, they intend to roll out the new 6G. Now, if you know anything about G's, you know that's what we use to power our internet. And that when COVID came out in 2020, many people were saying that it's a consequence of 5G, which is what they're developing now. We're still on 4G, but they're releasing 5G. And I remember, like, even this video about Pastor Chris Oyokalami, who had bought into the idea that it was the release of 5G that was causing many people to start getting this new virus that had come out. And also, like, this person that I learned what I'm talking about from, he also used to talk about 5G, like, before it was even brought out. He was saying that it was going to be a biohazard, that it was going to get many people sick. But I learned that and put that on the shelf and went my way. I didn't dwell too much about it. But yeah, 5G, the G's have been on topic lately. Like I was saying, like, many people were buying that it was because of it that even COVID came out. I don't believe that, but I'm just saying that that's what some people were thinking. We all know it's from from why in China that the virus was made and sent out to annoy people, really, because it was really just a silly virus that was sent out to get as many of us sick as possible as they can, and also to introduce some sneaky like ideas and ideals that they have in their heart to implement later on. Like it was just like a proxy for them to do some other higher things that they intended to do with it later, like making us all getting like COVID vaccine. It's like there was like a test series, the COVID virus. And like I also remember this man Jonathan Kahn, who is a Messianic Jew. I watched a series of his called the Josiah Manifesto, and he was teaching that even though the world leaders created the virus and sent it out to like to do what they intended to do with it, that the virus was still a judgment of God, and he based that on through to how abortion started in America. And he was saying that the number of deaths that were recorded by the virus in America correlated with the number of first abortions practiced in America. So he was saying that the COVID virus and the people who were dying from it, as much as the world designed and sent it out, was also a judgment from God on the American people and on the world at large, for them introducing the system of abortions and killing unborn babies. So God was taking back what they had done. So for every like aborted child, there's someone dead. As a consequence, it was like a reversal. Like he called it the reversal of jubilees. So it was like a vengeance of God on the world for them introducing the abortions and killing children. And he actually like was correlating the first deaths from COVID in America to the first abortions in America, and even saying that the central point of where abortions was happening mainly was also the central point of where most people were dying from COVID. So Rabbi Jonathan Kahn made his point and claims on that concerning the COVID virus and why he believes, or why it was there, why he believes it was there. And it was actually quite convincing. But anyway, we know about COVID, and we know that when it came out, many people were speculating that was probably why it came out, that it was because of 5G. It's not true. It's not because of 5G. 5G has nothing to blame on it, but that's what people were thinking. And it was an interesting time. But now, even before 5G has been rolled out and is at play, but then in 2022, Becca Landmark was saying that they will be bringing in 6G in the year 2030. And he was saying that and this is very interesting, he was saying that 6G would be more, it wouldn't be like through like physical devices like this and the phones that we're all using. It will actually be through like human machine interfaces, as in they intend to plant the 6G in us people, not on a physical device, but in flesh, in physical matter, people. And they were saying that whatever like machine that they'll put in us will be powered by the electricity of our human bodies. And so that was the CEO of Nokia, Pekka Landmark, and he was saying that when 6G comes out, it will come out in the form that we'll be using with our own minds, with our bodies, with our thoughts, and we will not be using like physical phones, like the physical phone or smartphones as we have it now. It will be like old technology. It will just be in our heads, in our minds, and I believe they call it the body of internet. It will be our bodies that will power the phones, not the physical matter that we use now. So like when it comes out, it will go from us using 5Gs on our phones for smarter networking to us having 6Gs, where it will be with our minds and our bodies that we use our phones and our technology. No longer with like typing or downloading, but with our thoughts and our minds and our energies. And I learned that in this year, Apple intends to bring out their first like version of the 6G technology. They intend to bring out they intend to trial their first version of mobile phones that will be linked to the mind. So it won't just be like mobile phones that we text with our fingers, press buttons to call, use like AirPods to listen to music. But when it comes out, we'll be using our minds and our thoughts to do things than before. Like we'll be picking up a phone, dialing a number, and putting on our heads like that. And according to Elon Musk on this Neuralink, made a revelation that the technology that he's working on is practically exactly the same as what Tim Cook from Apple is intending to like bring out this year. His own version of Neuralink. But the CEO of Nokia is saying that by 2030 they will start like rolling out 6G. We may get a taste of it this year, but by 2030, that's when they intend to start bringing out 6G, which is, like I've been saying, it's like technology, but cyborg technology that's controlled by our minds, that technology that we use our hands to touch. So yeah, this is showing that technology has come a long way and is going a long way, because we started first like with Charles Babbage figuring out the analytical machine to calculate its numbers, to then ENIAC, John Macaulay, making like the first like proper big computer, to then like people like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all them digitalizing the first computers so that we get numbers and screens. And then there's this guy called Alan Key. He's the one who introduced DOS, which is like computers where you actually can put like a background, as you can see there, pictures on. So first we started like, initially we were just calculating by hand. Then some smart man figured that was too hard, so let's make a machine that can do it for us. Then the machine was made, and then there comes a next step. Is is made more efficient. Then the next step is made more clever. Then the next step is getting high. And another step, which is where we are, which is like it's intense. So now they intend to go all the way and integrate it into our minds. This is amazing. But like say there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are G's going to 6G. Our knowledge and our understanding and our abilities have been increasing 1-fold, 2-fold, 3-fold, from simplicity to complexity. To now they've gone to a level that they want to like put it in us. Literally put it in us, that we are one with our machines. Like these scientists, they're crazy, man. They're taking on leaps and bounds like in what they're doing. And like I was yesterday, like, well, not even yesterday, like even this morning, I was thinking about how our money systems have changed, to the extent that first, like, trading was giving something that is of value to you in exchange to something else that you want for what you have. So say like currency, like money, salt used to be money back in the day, and all that trading or spending money was giving in exchange something that you have to somebody else for something that they had. That was money at first. But then when that became a bit like too stretched, then they started introducing like gold and silver, so that if you want this or if you want that, by the amount of gold and silver that you have, you can get it for whatever you want. And that was our money for a long time, until the Chinese invented paper money. Then we switched to paper money, but that was still backed by gold and silver. But now we don't even use gold and silver. We use fiat currency, which is like money by assertion. We say it's money, so it's money. Simple as that. And the banks really all they do, it's like they generate our incomes on their computers, which is why cryptocurrency came out, because all they were doing was generating the money. So some smart person found out a way of doing that in a way that was more accountable and transferable. And then they started up that whole new thing, whole new exchange of money. And like cryptocurrency, like the first one was called Bitcoin. And when it came out, many people were saying it's beast money, or the mark of the beast. But that was like a new version of money. And even now, people are still thinking and planning to see if they can replace our current version of money with cryptocurrency. So yeah, money came out. Money was just trade initially, then gold and silver, then paper money, and now it's just digitalized. So I was thinking about that this morning, about how money has changed. And then I learned across this information about technology becoming cyborg, like becoming organized, becoming organic. That's new, like it's like level after level. And I was thinking to myself like how apt it was that in these days, like how the money that we trade with is made by technology, is digitalized, because practically, like as I've been talking about phones and in technology in that sense. Most of our work is through technology, so to me it's like a clever link. But yeah, mobile phones, the internet, and the web is being planned to be cyborged, to become organic in us, that we will be able to like use it with our minds, with our thoughts. And I believe they said they could even like that Elon Musk even said that his neural link, what it will do is that it will be able to intercept thoughts and transfer it to other places. Like they could even have like telepathic communications when this new 6G comes out. That's as far as they're going to say. But as much as our money has evolved, it seems so that our technology is doing something of a similar nature. Our money was physical, now it's become digital. And even as our money has become digital and our world is mostly digital now, and now it looks as if our technology is going to become us also. And like the days of the week, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a week. There's 7 days in a week. And it took 7 days for God to create this world. But he rested on the 7th day. But like the days of the week, so it looked like our technology was going from 1 level, 2 level, to 3 level, to 4 level. And now they intend to bring out to a level which I'll call 6. Our scientists are just getting smarter and smarter. But it's interesting that on 6G, they intend to put the technology in us than on a physical device. That we like organic matter. We are what they call carbon matter. We are made from carbon, like diamonds. Diamonds are carbon, purified and solidified till they become a crystal. We are all organic matter. Like all animals and us are made from carbon. And in the Bible also, human beings as people, the day that we were created was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what? 6. We're created on the 6th day. So just as we're all carbon matter, and as human beings, we're made on the 6th day. How interesting is it that as technology increases and improves, like I said, Charles Babbage was the first person to invent the first computer. He called it the analytical machine. He used it to do his hard mathematical problems that took him like hours and hours and hours, even days to do, so that he can do it in much shorter time, that his life will become easier. And Charles Babbage worked with someone called Ada Lovelace, and Ada Lovelace was like the first prophet of our technological age. When people mention Frankenstein, the person who wrote Frankenstein was a friend of Ada Lovelace's father. And Ada Lovelace used to theorize that, she said, can technology actually live? And that's her father's friend wrote Frankenstein, which was like a machine that was actually alive. And this idea kind of like mixes in with AI, or doesn't kind of mix in with AI. But Ada Lovelace worked with Charles Babbage. And when she worked with Charles Babbage, she was so inspired by what they were creating, that she was theorizing like how far to go, what they can do with it, and all that. Like even before we could make music off our computers, when she made the analytical machine with Charles Babbage, she said that there will come a day where people will be able to make music even from computers that her and Charles Babbage first made. So she was they were the first seed of our computing age, until the 1930s per se, when Geneva Bush made the first like computer, which was like about the size of a house, really. And that was an analog computer. Fast forward a few years, comes John Macaulay and his partner Eckhart Presper Eckhart, and they made, I believe, like the first more digital computer. After them, then comes Bill Gates, when their digital computers were functioning, and they used to do it in such a way, they called it time sharing. The computer was so big that it was in one place, and what people would do was that they'll channel it here and there and there, and many people were using the same computers at the same time. And that's where Bill Gates got started. That's where Bill Gates first got introduced to computers, which was why he became passionate about coding, because he wanted to understand it. He wanted to like increase. He wanted to make it work. He wanted to make it better. And that's where Bill Gates' understanding of computers and coding began. So then Bill Gates goes away, and in that Bill Gates time, there's a man called Alan Key, who introduces DOS, which is the computers where we can put pictures and all that in there. And then of course we know about Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, and about the creators of Wiki, and about Linux and all that. And now we have Elon Musk and them. But it's like our technology is getting bigger and bigger, better and better, greater and greater, one level after another. And like I was saying, like we are organic matter. So it's like from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, which is where they are setting up now, by the way. And interesting too about 5G and 4G is that we are made on the 6th day, but God made like plants. Well, God made time, the sun, the moon, and the stars on the 4th day. So like 4G, it's like, say like we have like galactic speed, while like 3G is like saying we have trees and plants. And like so you can say like 3G was the time, comparing like internet speed with like the creation of our world. It's like saying 3G we had plants and vegetables, we had something to work with, something to eat. 4G we have the stars, things we can see out and know more than we could ever know. Then 5G is coming into a terrestrial environment, because on the 5th day God made the fish of the sea and the birds of the air. So on the 5th day, God having made the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, now we have access to the skies first, like, we had like something to eat, 3G. Then 4G, we could look out into the stars, like we have a huge, much bigger perspective. But then like 5G, which is what they're releasing now, that perspective is much near to us, which is like internet speeds being much faster. But then as they're going to release the 6G, which is like our makeup, we don't need it in the skies anymore. We don't need it near us. Now we have it in us, and we are working with our own beings. It's the progression, higher, greater, till now they want to bring it in us. And like I'll say, like, this idea of 6G being cyborg, like it being planted in us, that we use our minds and even communicate telepathically, and we can use our minds to control, like, say our air conditioner. Well, that's what they intend to do. That it sounds too hard to believe. It sounds like it's just made up. It can't be. But this, like, Hollywood producers and all, they have actually been for a long time been making movies and shows and such that imply these very things. It's just no joke. Like, they have been leaving like clues about what they intend to do, like from before, like, we even had internet as fast as we have now. Like, everyone knows about the Matrix, but even if you doubt, like, that this can't be, it actually is. They've been leaving clues about things like this, like, for a long time. Like, I've heard it said that Hollywood often drops like clues on what they intend to do in the future through their movies, that people will know about it before they even happen. So this isn't anything new. But this idea of 6G and what they intend to do with it, like I noted, is called 6G. And like, say our money systems have gone technological, because now most of our work is with technology. So like 6G coming into organic matter of human beings, which are organic matter, organic carbon 6, and that's being made on the 6th day, Friday. They go together. It's like a perfect blend. But even in that context, 6 for carbon, 6 for man. 6G. Like, I was watching this, like, I've seen this cartoon program where they were actually talking in the cartoon. It's like this Ben 10 kind of like cartoon. I don't believe it was Ben 10, but it's like Ben 10. But in the cartoon, they showed like the scenes of like the world that developed what I was talking about, like 6G. And they had made like this chip where they implanted into people. And on that chip that they implanted in people, it's like the best new technology you could ever have. You know, you could do everything with your mind and such on that cartoon. But then on and through the cartoon was that after everyone had bought this new technology, they put it in themselves, and then it switched and it's like, let's now go to like stage 2 of our plan. And then in the cartoon, all those people have gotten the chip in themselves. As soon as the next stage happened, it's like the people who had made the chip to go in them took over them and started sending them to go out and take out their enemies. That was the cartoon. And like, say, like, even this year 2025, I mentioned that Apple wants to bring out like their version of like Neuralink, their next version of phones, which will be like controlled by the mind in this year 2025. The year 2025 It may seem like a very ordinary year, but really it's not. It's a marked year. Those who know anything about the year 2025 will tell you that it's the year that the real end times begin. It's not by chance that Pope Francis died this year. It wasn't by chance that Pope Leo the 14th came into power this year. It's all going on by intent and by purpose. Like when I was at the Multicultural Festival like earlier this year, I ran across like this like group of Muslims who were introducing this man they called Ahmed from Quijan, India. And what they said about him was the Messiah has arrived. The Messiah has arrived. The Muslim Messiah, the Mahdi. That's what they called him. And would you believe that this Messiah, I took a photo of him actually. He looked just like that Messiah who appeared in Nairobi, Kenya, when Reinhard Bonnke was having a crusade. And according to what I learned about that Messiah, he came out, he sprinkled hyssop on many people, and then when his day was finished, he walked out and just disappeared. And this so-called Messiah looked just like him. And what's the year? 2025. The year that they say is marked to be the beginning of the end. The year Pope Francis died. And then Apple is introducing its first form of brain implanted cell phones to the world this year. And then, as I've been talking about, Pekka Landmark is talking about the CEO of Nokia is talking about them introducing like 6G in 2030, which is the same type of technology that Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple, is introducing this year. And then, as I've said before, the 6G matches the day that we human beings were created on, and it's coming into us. Carbon matter. We are made from carbon, which number on the periodic table is 6. Can you believe that? In Revelation chapter 13, John the Revelator, he says, and they shall make it that all the people, all the inhabitants of this world shall either receive a mark on them, that without that mark they cannot buy and sell, or they should take the number of the beast or the name of the beast. Because like they've been saying that when this 6G comes out, it will make mobile phones obsolete. You'll be able to do your accounting. You'll be able to buy. You'll be able to like talk to people without actually having to pull out a mobile phone. And you may very well like cryptocurrency like replace like our bank cards and all. Our bank cards, so that we wouldn't even need to use cards to buy and sell, or even our phones. We can just use our minds and technology they've put in us. But in Revelation chapter 13, John was saying that they shall make it that without the mark or the name of the beast or the number of the beast, you cannot buy and sell. Because what I believe will be that this mark of the beast that they're talking about, like that cartoon I talked about, would most likely be or will be connected to this 6G, or not will be, yeah, will most likely be this 6G. which they'll put a chip in you, which will be powered by your body, the electricity in your body, like your own workings of your own body, so that you won't ever have to charge anything. So it'll be like your bank account details will be like implanted in you. Your money will be paid onto you, and such that you won't even need to bring out a card or cash or a phone to buy anything. And I believe they'll roll it out in such a way that, like they're saying, 6G is coming in 2030. And I wouldn't be surprised if people will be like dying to subscribe to get this like chip implanted in you, that they'll be able to talk telepathically, like control like your environment, watch TV, listen to music, like account, without having to touch something physical, because your mind will be able to control everything and whatever you want to do. That will be the new technology. And so in it coming out, and in this 6G coming out, it's telling me that we are right now on the cusp of the end times. We are in the end times, and all that's been prophesied in the Word of God in the Bible, or all that's been prophesied in the Bible, they are all about to be fulfilled. They are all running their course. They are all getting to that place. They are just about to happen. We are right there on the cusp of the end times. Christ is coming back soon. We don't have too much time to go. Like practically, the mark of the beast is already being prepared to enter our world and to be implanted in those who receive it. We are right there in the time. We are right there on the cusp. It's not by chance that 6G will be implanted in us. And this number is 6G. We are made on the 6th day of the week. We are made of carbon, the number 6 in the periodic table. That the next level of our internet use will become organic. And talking about like our internet use, accordingly, the man who first invented the World Wide Web was called Tim Berners-Lee. And the first place that he transmitted like the use of it was, I believe, CERN, Geneva, Switzerland. And the number of CERN is 6. It's like, well, not the number of CERN, but the sign for CERN looks like 3 6s. Can you believe that? And as well, like, accordingly, the World Wide Web, www, has a condition to the number 666 as well, if you look it up. And like this, the symbol for apple is an apple with a bite in it. And if you know anything, the in Greek, apple is the word for fruit. Like we know that's apple today, but to the Greeks, apple meant fruit, any fruit. And what apple did we eat to fall into the state that we're in now? The fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. What does apple do? What does apple expound? Knowledge. And Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, the first Apple computer was sold for $666.60. You can look it up. No lie. $666.66. 666. The number, the day we were created on, the number of carbon, and now 6G, which will be implanted in us. We are in the last days. Like the sign that I was talked to you about later earlier on said the Messiah is here. The Mahdi had come. The Messiah of the Muslims. Pope Francis has died this year. Pope Leo has come into power this year. And there's more about Pope Leo that I won't get into, but he means something very specific that most people don't necessarily know about. It's very interesting. But Pope Leo is in office this year. And Pope Francis, Saint Malachy, who was a prophet back in the 1200s, God gave him a prophecy of 112 popes to come after he had died. And he said that Pope Francis would be the last. And he said that in his time, the church will be destroyed, like it's prophesied in the book of Revelations, chapter 17. Well, Pope Francis has died. The church hasn't been destroyed, the Catholic Church. But either way, Malachi, on all the popes that he prophesied after Pope Francis, he was 100% accurate on everyone on every level. So even if we're still here, and even if the Catholic Church isn't destroyed and it's still going on, there is something to what he prophesied. And like I said, from those who know, this year is on the cusp. It's a big deal. It's a big year. Like Walter Fight, if you know about Professor Walter Fight, he was talking about how Alice Bailey, she said all the way back then that in 100 years time, and she was speaking from the year, I believe, she was speaking from the year from around 1925. She said in 100 years time, the hierarchy will show themselves. 100 years time is now 2025. Maybe nothing has manifested yet, but things are going on. People, get a load of yourself. Know yourself. Understand yourself. Look up, look out. Seek your God. Seek to learn about Him, know about Him. Seek to walk in His ways and to walk in His power. Seek to be like Christ. Seek to be righteous. Seek to be spotless. Find this strength. Prepare, because we are in the last days. The times are coming. The end is very near. Don't fool yourself that things are going to be as it's always been. Don't fool yourself that these are just like coincidences and they mean nothing. Don't lie to yourself that the Bible is a lie, that Christ never existed. Don't lie to yourself that all religions are one. Don't lie to yourself that we're all good and that all that we seek is good and that we are not sinful human beings. Don't lie to yourself that the change will just happen just like that, or that you can just simply become a good person. Don't lie to yourself that you cannot prepare for Christ's second coming and just switch sides when you see what you should see literally happening. Then that's when you're going to change. We need to be like the wise virgins that Christ prophesied about or taught about in his parable, who have oil not just for now but for hard times as well, for things unforeseen. Let's not be lukewarm believers. Let's not be hot and cold. Let's switch from being half in and in. I'm not in. I care, I don't care. I'm cool, I'm not cool. Let's be on fire. Let's start burning red hot. Let's Like I'll say it again, let's start burning red hot. Red hot. Let those who believe in Christ our Lord be more evangelistic. Be so on fire. That will be preaching here, there, and everywhere, warning the whole world about things that are to come. Let's not be caught unawares when Christ comes. Let's not be fools who forget the times and think that when we can clearly see that he's here or that he's coming, then all of a sudden we want more oil in our lamps. Let's pray for God, for his strength, for his protection, for his mercy, and for his power in the days that are to come. Let's seek for our Lord with a sincere heart, with all of our hearts. Let's find him and let's do his works, and let's fight the good fight and prepare for our God who is coming very soon. God bless you all. Bye.